Not I invested, not I'd like to invest. We have to change the identity. It was $100, guys. It was small. There's a difference between rich versus wealthy. And too often, I'm seeing everybody chase that. This is like the perfect, okay, I'll take his abs for sure. I will chase that. Yeah, I'm on board with that. But too many people are obsessed with look at me in my picture of my Lambo, and nobody's obsessing over that. I don't see anybody damn, look at you, bro, in front of this old beat up threeplex. Cool, man. Facts, right? Nobody's I got 1 million likes on that. Everybody gets 1 million likes on this, and nobody million likes this one. Am I right? Yes? Say yes? But I can guarantee you, when you're 45, 50, 60, you aren't going to give a shit about that photo. And you're going to care about 20, 30 grand a month coming into your account on that one, aren't you? It is the biggest effing problem in this industry is you make too much money fast, but you're dumb. So I'm going to tell you a little personal story, 2 of them. This is me in high school. Yes, Suave Sam. I think I dyed my hair brown that year. I don't know why. Any cool punk kids in here? So I had this seminary teacher, this youth leader. He came to my class. There was 10 of us. And he looked at us and he said, hey, I'm going to teach you about compounding interest. What did Kent just teach you about? He said time, right? Everybody say time? Compounding interest. He gave us a lesson to a bunch of 16-year-olds. Okay? And he said, I will match $100 to anybody tomorrow that brings in $100. So he was willing to give $1,000 away, right? So the next day we show up to class and I bring my $100 and I was like, here you go. And he sets up a Scott's Trade account. Did anybody ever have a Scott's Trade account? Anyway, I forgot I had this. And it turns out I'm Googling because I wanted to teach this lesson because I get a message from him. This was on January 30th, 2022. So how many years is that? 15 years later, he sends me this message. He's like, I love seeing this. I gave a speech. He's a really successful entrepreneur. And he's like, only 10% of the kids, meaning 1 out of 10, actually showed up with $100. I was the only kid that showed up with $100. He was willing to give you guys $100, but only 1 kid actually showed up with $100. How come the 9 didn't show up for free money? Ask yourself that. What if you been the kid that's like, hey, guy's going to give you a free $100, set up an IRA and teach you compounding interest. He set up the IRA account and he said, I'll set it all up for you. I'll put the money in and I'm going to let you see what compounding interest. He sends me this message because he's like, I followed those 10 kids and look where you are versus the other 9. Because at a young age, I was taught to be, everybody say, an investor. I am an investor because it has to do with an identity first. Not I invested, not I'd like to invest. We have to change the identity. It was $100, guys. It was small. And here's the graph of the account. At its all-time high, it was worth $31,000, and today it's over $13,000. So to take this to another further, in 2014, I put 300 grand. I took my back-end check, and I was like, here, I'm going to buy a 4-plex. I bought 2 4-plexes, so 8 units. I put in 300 grand of my own money. They each cost about 600 grand. Is anybody investors in here? Say yes. How about this? Everybody say, I am an investor. It's an identity. Not that you've made an investment. Right now, you get to choose whether it's $100 or not. So I put in 300 grand. Then in 2019, I actually sold those, and I took out that 300 grand, turned into 1.3 million of equity. I sold the 2 fourplexes and put that, and this is just one of the projects, and I put it into a 56plex. That's the actual unit. So I said, okay, let's do this again. I had good partners, I trusted my realtors, I had good people on the operations. And then 2 years ago, or in 2022, I sold that 56plex and took the 1.2 million and put them into 2 units, one in Kansas City and one in Dallas. And now that equity is worth 5.6 million. What's the only thing that really, there's 2 things that really happened in this scenario. And I'm just showing you guys the value of time. What's the 2 things that happened? Time, and the other one is I was willing to act. I was willing to go to a guy I trusted and say, here's 300 grand, do something with it. Does that make sense? Versus the other 9 kids in the class, didn't do anything. And when you got money sitting in your bank account, what do you do with it? It's gone, you get the Lambo, cool.